Hello everyone. In our previous tutorials, we showed how to set up OpenClaw on Google Cloud and also connect Gemini keys as the brain for this AI agent. And today we're going to introduce GitHub, that we are going to use GitHub as our platform where we can collaborate with our AI agent, which is OpenClaw. So this is how I'm using my agent now. So I asked my agent that search the latest news about generative AI and also upload the results to the GitHub. And now you can see that the agent just searched the internet and also find some news that are interesting and created a pull request on GitHub. So if I open this pull request and I look at the file that has been changed, you can see those are the news. So if I'm not happy with this, and I can just request some change and also put my request in this comment. And if I'm happy with this change, I can just simply approve it. So I submit my review. And now I just merge that request. And now I can just safely delete this branch. All right, so now if I go to my repository and just look at the news. Okay, so you can see this news that we just updated. If you want to assign the work to your agent, and you can just write issues. So let's look at those issues that OpenClaw has resolved. So there's one that 3 days ago, and OpenClaw just created a new pull request where they just changed those files for me. And so I just accept that change, and also that issue was closed. So essentially, our OpenClaw is sitting in the Google Cloud. The brain is Gemini, and we can communicate with our agent by using Telegram or other chat app. We can send tasks to OpenClaw, and also OpenClaw will finish work and also push the result to GitHub. You can also assign issues on GitHub, as I showed earlier. So you can also set the job on OpenClaw that check the issues on the GitHub every day. Okay, so here we continue. So this is the OpenClaw VM that's in the Google Cloud. And also we pass our API key. Here we go to our GitHub website, and which you can set up your free account. And we're going to set up our new repository. So let's click new. And this one, I will call it OpenClaw demo. And just make sure it is private. And I just create this repository. And now our repository has been created. And next, we need to give the access to the OpenClaw. So we go to our settings. And from here, we're going to go to the develop settings. And we're going to create a token. So here, we're going to use this one. So fine-grained tokens. So that is very important because we want to give this the least privilege to AI agent. So let's choose a fine-grained token. And we just generate new token. Okay, so let's give it token name, OpenClaw, GitHub key. And here you can choose the expiring date. So if you want to keep this using for a long time, you can choose no expiration. So let's just give it 90 days. And here, so this is also very important. So which repository you're going to give access. So let's choose the new repository that we just selected. So we don't want OpenClaw to mess up with our other repositories. So let's choose one that we just created, which is this one, so demo. And now you're going to give it permissions. So normally I give them 3 permissions. The first one is called content, where OpenClaw is able to read and write files to our GitHub repository. And the second one is called PR request. OpenClaw is able to set a pull request so that we can review it and also we can approve it. The third one is issues, which means that if I assign some assignment to OpenClaw, and I can just give the new issues, and OpenClaw will be able to read issues and also fix issues as a pull request. And for all of them, let's give it read and write permission. And of course, you can also customize your access. So for example, if you just want OpenClaw to read issues, and you can just give the read permission. And now we're going to create these tokens. And of course, you should never share this token with other people. Okay, so let's just generate the token. All right, so now we go back to the Telegram, and let's just ask OpenClaw whether or not you have those tools first. So I tell the OpenClaw that I need to manage a GitHub repository, which is not private, and I will provide you the tokens, and you have the Git and also GH installed. And now we can see that it does have the Git installed. So let's test it. So let's see Git. Okay, so it has. So it does not have the GH. So let's also install the GH for the OpenClaw. So let's run this command, and now let's just run the GH, which is the GitHub CLI. And now I think the GitHub CLI is also installed. Let's test. Okay, nice. And now we're going to pass our API tokens to the OpenClaw. So first, we're going to create a folder, and then we're going to change the mode of the folder. So we will make the folder more secure. And next, which is a very important step, is that so we're going to pass our tokens to this VM machine. The command is like this. So we're going to pass a token to this folder, and we call it LB social OpenClaw test.token. And you need to replace the token that you generated from GitHub. Okay, so I'm going to just go to my GitHub and also replace this string. So this is the API key that we just created, and you can just copy it. And now you just replace, so put a token within this pair of the quotation mark, and you can just hit enter. And the next, we just change these secret files so that OpenClaw can only read that token file. All right, so now we have passed our API keys to this virtual machine, and let's just tell OpenClaw that the key is set up. So here, let's say I just installed GH and I passed the tokens to this folder. And now you can see OpenClaw is able to access and verify that. So now it's time that we need to provide the URLs. Okay, so this is our private repository, and let's just copy this URL. And now I just tell the URL is. Okay, very nice. You can see that so OpenClaw now has a local repository into his workspace. And now we can just ask OpenClaw to change files locally and also upload everything to this GitHub repository. Okay, so let's say set up the README files and generate a PR request so I can review on GitHub. All right, nice. So now we have our first pull request. So let's just refresh our repository. And we did see this pull request. So let's go to this pull request and we can review it. So we have the one file that's been changed. And as we showed earlier, so you can just submit your reviews. Okay, so looks good. And I just submit my review. I can just merge it by myself. Or you can also ask OpenClaw to merge it. All right, so now this has been merged. So let's just look at our GitHub. And so here you can see we have the README files that have been added. Now let's try to create a new issue. So let's go to issues and like create a new issue. Let's say create an image folder. So create an image folder to store any images. So I submit this issue. And now let's ask OpenClaw to address that issue. I opened an issue, address it as a pull request. And now you can see OpenClaw found that issue and also created an image folder to that repository and also create this pull request. And we can actually see that in this issue, we do have this pull request. So let's just open it. So let's submit our review. So great. And now you can just merge this pull request. And now if we go back to our main branch, we can see that this image folder has been created and also that issue has been fixed. Okay, so let's try to see if OpenClaw can generate some images and also upload to that image folder. So create an image of yourself and upload it to the images folder on GitHub. All right, looks like I forgot to enable the Gemini nano skill so that OpenClaw cannot create image. However, so it just writes some code, create this SVG file and save that one to this image folder. So now we can see we have new pull request where we have this file that's being added. So let's just merge this pull request. All right, and now let's go back to our main branch. And here in this images folder, and we have this SVG file. So if you open it, you will be able to see that the file that OpenClaw has been added. All right, so that is a workflow that I wanted to show you in this video. We saw how OpenClaw can receive tasks from Telegram, work on them in Google Cloud with Gemini as a brain, and then push the results to GitHub for collaborations. So as you build your own steps, remember to keep security and cost in mind. So try to follow the principles of the least privilege. Only give the agent the access it really needs, and use tools that you understand and trust. And also be careful of the token usage, because an autonomous agent may keep working and consume a lot of tokens. So it is always a good idea to set up a cap on the usage or set up a budget limit.